The secret to online marketing is not getting your information in front of as many people as you can, but getting specific information to as many people that are looking for that specific problem to solve that specific problem that you can. And that is what I call riches and niches. And quite frankly, when it comes to content marketing, niches are the single biggest factor or the single most important factor on whether or not you're even going to be found. So what are niches and why are niches so important? One of my favorite authors when it comes to business books is Richard Koch or Koch. I don't know how you pronounce it. I've heard both, but he has the couple of books. One called Simplify, one called Principle, or called the Star Principle, and it's about standing out. And he has a quote in there that says, "Choose a niche that you enjoy, where you can excel and stand a chance of becoming an acknowledged leader." And that's really what we're talking about here. Is we're talking about identifying the things that interest you, the things that you are good at, the things that you're passionate about. What are your hobbies? What do you care about? Who do you like to help? What professions maybe are you more attracted to? Are you a military family? Are you a law enforcement family? Are you a family of teachers? Do you like helping those people? These are the things that we're talking about. Now, the whole purpose of creating niches and of identifying your niches and operating within these niches is to differentiate yourself. So I want you to give yourself a standing ovation right now if you've already found your mojo, if you found your groove, if you are known for something. Maybe it could be bow ties, right? It could be anything. If you're known as being a sharp dresser, I've got friends in the broker space. They're known for just looking amazing all the time. Like, these are niches. These are things that will make you stand out. These are things that will make people remember you. So what I'm going through today is I'm just talking about the basics of niches to really get your juices flowing. I want to present you with some ideas. I'm going to do a high level overview today. And then later on over the next few weeks, I'm going to dive deeper down into each one of these niches. And I'm going to unpack the niches that I've found to have that have brought us the most success and why they've brought us the most success. And I think that's the important part. When you're looking at a niche, you first need to identify who your target is, and then you need to understand what the messaging is to that target. And we're going to talk about all of that in this entire niche series. But again, today, this is going to be short and sweet. I'm just going to introduce you to some high-level way to break down these niches. And specifically, I'm going to show you 5 niches that can absolutely bring you riches. So here's the five niches that you can own by becoming an online thought leader. And that's all this really is picking a topic, exhibiting your expertise, going out there, sharing your what you know, sharing your information, sharing your experience, sharing how you excel in these areas, and again, becoming a thought leader around these certain things. So number one is demographic niches. So these are direct to consumer keywords. When you're doing a piece of content and you're targeting a specific demographic, there are a few different ways to break down demographics. The 3 examples that I have here are job demographics, life event demographics, and generational demographics. And here's kind of what that looks like. So a job demographic would be, let's say you are an expert at the guidelines or expert at a specific program. And this is actually a real example for me. When I started doing content marketing, this was back in 2008. The very first topic that I tackled was a very specific down payment assistance program offered through the state housing finance agency that was available for down payment or closing costs for teachers that worked in high priority schools. So it was a very, very specific niche. It was only certain teachers. So it was only certain employees within the school district system that worked in certain schools that were determined to be that they needed a little bit more help on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of, I think, the financial stability or maybe test scores. These are between 1 and 5. So teachers that worked in high priority schools, that was a employment or a job demographic that that I really ran with, and I did really, really well with for a really long time until homes became unaffordable, and those opportunities went away because of the market. But they were really, really good for the first few years after the crash in 2008. And I want you to think about that, because this market is very similar to 2008 in that sense, that home buyers are going to be our next wave of business. And the reason why I'm pounding on you becoming a content creator today is because I want you out there so that you're being found on these Google and YouTube searches for all of these home buyers that are watching the market today, but will buy within the next 12, 18, 24 months. So that's why we're getting in front of them as a thought leader today. So that's an example of a job demographic, is, let's say, teachers. Policemen could be another example of a job demographic. Elevator repairmen could be an example. Traveling nurses is a really good one. That's actually a really, really effective niche right now. There's a lot of confusion about that. When I dive into these niches, so I'm going to do an episode only on demographic niches, and I'm going to really unpack some of the demographic niches that I've had a lot of success with, that I've seen other people have a lot of success with, and I'm going to reveal to you the formula. There's actually a formula for how to determine which demographics are going to be underserved. And when I say underserved, I also mean misunderstood, right? So let's use traveling nurses for a perfect example. Traveling nurses have variable income, variable employers, variable hours. That's not something that a call center lender is going to have enough experience with, that they're going to know how to calculate their income, which income they can use, which stipends they can use, which bonuses they can use. They're not going to know how to do all of this. So those are niches that are really, really valuable and really lucrative niches. Let's move on to life event. A life event niche would be like a divorce. It could be a divorce. It could be right sizing. You could be retiring, so converting from a forward to a reverse mortgage. It could be, but that could also be generation. So that could be generational. And let's slide right in generational. Generational would be millennials, or it could be Gen X, or it could be again the baby boomers that is a massive demographic that's moving into retirement right now. So they are going to have different housing needs. They're either downsizing or they're changing their financing because they're approaching retirement and they have fixed income. So that's an example of demographic. Geographic is a really, really good one. So geographic, I've broken down into three different geographic regions, really. Mayorism is actually a term that I came up with in 2012. If you Google it, you'll find realtor magazines that I wrote several articles in. I think there's an article in the Scotsman's Guide back in 2012, 2013. I was talking about this a lot. And this isn't new. This is just the concept of hyperlocal marketing. And hyperlocal marketing is a lot more about the community than it is about what you do. Then you have regional, and then you have state. So regional might be like a tri-county area. If people know the area, you're going to use geographic keywords. You're going to use regional keywords when you're creating your content, even your state level content. So if you're only licensed in one state, as you're creating content, you're going to say, in this state, so I'm in Colorado right now. In the state of Colorado, the Housing Finance Agency helps first-time homebuyers with these programs. So that would be a state geographic niche that I'm going after. So my geographic is people that are buying in that state, and the demographic in that particular situation is first-time home buyers. So as you kind of see, there's a lot of overlap between these things. And one of the things that you're going to develop, I'm hoping, at the end of this series of podcasts around riches and niches, is that you're going to see that you can put together kind of a recipe or a formula. You're going to find that you're going to do some advocacy niches within your geographic, within your mayorism, your hyper-local geographic. You may also tackle specific employers in a region that you're trying to go after. So there's a lot of overlap. And when you start to see these things and you can identify them as, oh, okay, I am targeting this person in this geographic area that works in this job, and you start creating that type of content, you are going to attract exactly the type of person that you are creating content for. And that's why this is so important. The number 3 niche that you can dominate is what I call experience and expertise. So experience and expertise keywords, expertise niches are like loan programs. So maybe you're an expert at USDA. Maybe you're an expert at the VA mortgage. Maybe you're an expert at 203K rehabs. Those would be program niches. Guideline niches can be guidelines within those programs. So a really good example, and this is a crossover niche from a demographic niche to a guideline niche, is teachers. So how do you qualify for a mortgage if you have student loans, right? So the student loans, the guidelines around calculating student loans they're not super confusing, but they've changed a bunch of times, and they're different for every agency. And that's a little sneak peek as to kind of the ingredients that go into a niche that it's going to attract you more attention. And then you have like product niches like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's affordable products, your Home Possibles, your Home Ones, your Home Readies, things like that, or your VA Earls or your FHA Streamlines. These are product, even DSCR. DSCR is a product as well. So programs, guidelines, and products. If you have specific knowledge or expertise in any of these, you talk about those guidelines. That's what you're creating content about. It doesn't necessarily matter where they're located unless you're restricted to a geographic area. Then you're going to talk about it. Then you're going to throw in some geographic keywords in order to keep your searches more narrow. If you just go out there and you say, hey, USDA loans are 100% financing anywhere that you're eligible, you're going to get people that are going to call you from Alaska to Nebraska, right? And you might not be licensed in those states. So you would want to talk about USDA loans in the states or the areas that are eligible in the states that you're licensed in. Number 4, advocacy niches. This is content for a good cause or cause-based content. And I think this is an important part of everything that we do. We are truly blessed in the mortgage industry. You don't need expensive college degrees. You don't need to go to school for 8 years and get a PhD to, quite frankly, make more money than most doctors. And so we are truly blessed. We get to help our community. We get to help people. We make a really good living doing it. I personally believe that you should purposely have advocacy as a big part of what you do, whether a portion of all of your proceeds goes to a homeless association, or a religious organization that helps homeless people, something that's related to housing. Those are really good. But it's also as simple as promoting the local 4-H fair, or sponsoring the little league team. It's advocating. It's not about you, is what it is. It's using your authority. It's using your experience and your skill set as a content creator. It's using your audience as a content creator to, quite frankly, attract attention so that people want to come to you because you have the biggest voice. I'm going to dive into this a lot as we sort of unpack these niches in future episodes. There's a lot of opportunity for advocacy niches that go really, really well. One more example, just because, man, I'm super passionate about this part. For instance, one could be a fund for fallen police officers, right? This was a niche actually that I was very, very involved in when I was originating many years ago, or several years ago, and it was the police officers. It was police officer unions, and it was supporting golf tournaments for like playing in golf tournaments, or being a sponsor in a golf tournament for the families of fallen police officers. So those are like really good. Those are really good niches. Another one that I did, I actually organized a golf tournament for a veterans charity, and I just did that outside of the company, but then we were a sponsor. Our mortgage company was a sponsor in the golf tournament. So I didn't bring any of the attention to me, but everybody that was involved in the tournament knew that I organized the tournament, and they knew what I did for a living. So it's really sort of this karmic marketing that I like, and it's a super, super powerful tool. So advocacy, content for a good cause. This is an incredible niche. The last one is leadership. And I never really thought of this as a niche until my good friends, Carl White and Ginger Bell, came out with a video planning guide, a leadership video planning guide. And it was really focused on doing videos to grow your business. And I really, really like this. I'm going to have Ginger on an episode here in the next week or two. We're doing the interview this week, and I'll publish it in the next week or two. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more, but creating recruiting videos. So videos about your culture, about your job opportunities, recruiting is a really good way to create content about why somebody should want to work with you. And I've got some people, there's a lot of folks out there that do a really good job of this. The other one is referral partners, is creating content specifically to support referral partners. Folks, our referral partners are hurting today. The number one challenge that we have in today's market is the same challenge we had in 2008. And that's the fact that our referral sources have dried up, right? In 2008, your past clients, they were losing home values, and maybe they had subprime loans. It was ugly. Real estate agents scrambling for work. Today, with a lack of inventory, there's still high buyer demand, but there aren't a lot of homes that are out there. And even the buyer demand that's out there kind of has to be in the market. They don't want to be in the market. So it's a lot of life event and things that are driving them. The bottom line is, you and I, as mortgage originators, we can at least lend in our entire state. Your referral partners are restricted to a geographic area. So while we can market hyper locally or geographically, geographically if we want to. Real estate agents are kind of confined to it. If they end up getting a lead in another state or another region, they can refer it out and get a referral fee. That's always an option. But for the most part, there is a lot that we can do to use our voice, use our skill set as content creators to help educate and encourage our referral partners, and quite frankly, stay top of mind with our referral partners and even bring them in on some of our projects. If you're hyper local and you're doing a mayorism play and you're trying to be the local mayor, the digital mayor of your community, then I would do interviews with your real estate agent partners in those areas. And so you're bringing them exposure, you're bringing them authority, and quite frankly, you're helping them stay busy in a really, really tough time right now in this market. So leadership, growing your business with video for recruiting and for referral partners is another really, really strong niche that you can absolutely dominate. Now, when it comes to niches, I just want you to know this. There is no niche that's too small if you're an expert. Like, you could literally be somebody that likes to do underwater basket weaving wearing green leotards, and that's all you write about. Well, there may only be like a dozen of you out there that are into that, but I guarantee that if you put enough content out there, you're going to find other people that love to do underwater basket weaving wearing green leotards. It's a thing. Maybe it's a thing, maybe it's not a thing, maybe you can make it a thing. And then mix and match your niches for a wider reach. Like I said, these things, they're not exclusive. You don't have to stay within the boundaries or the confines of one specific niche. There is so much overlap here that really makes your niches more nichey. So if I'm talking about a specific profession in a specific geographic area, and then maybe I'm promoting a charitable event for that profession in this hyperlocal area. Now you see we're starting to drill down and we're getting more and more nichey. We're getting more and more specific. And again, when I say nichey and when I say specific, remember, people are typing specific long tail searches into Google. And the more of those keywords that you're hitting with your content, the higher the likelihood you're going to be found. If that person who's typing in those keywords finds your video that has those keywords, that is a match made in heaven. There may not be a huge quantity of that traffic, but the quality of that traffic is through the roof. You will never talk to a more motivated person. And quite frankly, they already know, like, and trust you before they even reached out to you because they watched your content. And it really resonated with them because you nailed all of the things that were important to them. Not finally, but we're getting there. Be your authentic self. Just being yourself on video through your content. This is one of the things we talk about, and I talk about this in the law of attraction and the 3 laws of video engagement. You just need to be authentic, even if you're goofy. I think I'm goofy. I don't know. I don't think that I don't know. I'm not like a movie star. I'm not out there. I screw stuff up. I make mistakes. My hair's not always perfect. Whatever. You just be your authentic self, because I promise you, if you watch these videos and you've never met me before in person, when you meet me in person, you're going to be like, man, that's the same goofball that's on those videos. Like, I'm not any different. It's just because it's just being your authentic self, and that's what's going to attract people to you. And then finally, you just want to educate. You want to educate other folks. You want to educate people. That's what we're here for, is we're educating and we're giving them information. We're not selling in our content. We're not selling on these videos. We're just informing. And we're educating. We're using our experience, our expertise to make complicated topics easier to understand for consumers. Now I'm going to put out 5 episodes in these in this Riches and Niches series. They're going to be staggered out because I'm really excited about a series of interviews I'm going to be doing with content creators and thought leaders that I want to throw in here to kind of mix it up. And as I'm kind of trying to figure out the format of what this podcast is or what this YouTube channel is, I'm just bringing in as much value as I possibly can. I'll sort it out in the playlists later. But here's the 5 videos that or the 5 episodes that we're going to have coming out in the next few weeks. Number 1 is demographic, working with your favorite clients. Number 2 is geographic, mayorism and geo audience content. Number 3 is expertise, attract the loans you love. What are your favorite types of loans to do? Are they DPA programs? Are they rehab loans? Are they reverse mortgages? Are they VA loans? Next, cause-based content. There's your advocacy niche. And then finally, leadership and growth content. Those are the next 5 episodes. Folks, if you are joining us for the first time, if you're not a part of our solo content creator community, it's 100% free. You can go to findmywayhome.com/solo, SOLO, stands for Second Opinion Loan Officer. It is a content creator community. It's a fairly new community. We're getting a lot of traction in there, but I've collected some of my favorite people, some of the smartest people I know that are focusing on these topics, on content creation, creating niches, helping you stand out, thought leadership. And we've assembled everybody together, and we're trying to create a community where it's folks like us that are trying to go out there and build as big of an audience as we possibly can, build as big of a database as we possibly can. And this is 100% free. I'm sharing tips, tricks, strategies, content ideas every single week on there. There's never a dull moment. So please join us there. Now, if you are the content creator type and you know you want to do content and you've tried and you just can't stick with it and you're not the do-it-yourself type, then we have a done-for-you solution. That's what I do. I am the founder of findmywayhome.com, which is consumer-facing, consumer direct website, and the Find My Way Home Expert Network, which is a network of mortgage professionals that care about educating and empowering consumers. So what we're going to do is, if you were looking for a done-for-you solution, we have it. I have hundreds of consumers. First of all, we get tens of thousands of consumers to our website every single month, and we have hundreds of consumers that are asking us to introduce them to a loan officer that we know, like, and trust, that we know will listen to them and help them through their challenges. So we're going to make those introductions to you now. And then what we do on the Expert Network is we're really a production company, and we are going to we're going to help you inspire content. We're going to direct the content. We're going to help you create the content. It's literally as simple as doing a Zoom call. It's not a Zoom call, but it's like a Zoom call. I'm going to have a professional director on the computer screen talking to you, pulling your stories out of you, pulling your content out of you. We're going to produce that content. We're going to transcribe. We're going to publish it as a blog post on Find My Way Home so that it's in front of tens of thousands of eyeballs every month. We're going to promote that content for you. We're going to pixel that content. We're going to retarget anybody that watches your content. Then we're going to capture those inquiries for you, and we're going to run them through a follow-up system. It's actually Bonzo. So if you're familiar with Bonzo, we're going to follow up on all your leads for you. The only thing you need to do is respond to the text message, answer your phone, or reply to emails, and that's it. If they are not ready to buy now, we are going to take those consumers and we're going to do a long-term nurture. So we're going to continue to push your videos in front of them. This is a completely done for you solution. You can get more information in the description, in the notes. If you have any questions about my topic today, about niches, about being a part of the network, or anything else that I'm talking about, feel free to either engage with me in the solo community. Like I said, findmywayhome.com/solo. You can join me for free in the solo community. You can ask questions or make comments anywhere here in the description or where you're seeing this or where you're listening to this. And there's links to my calendar link if you have more questions, the free community, and the expert network. So I'm really excited to unpack these riches and niches, because I think this is one of the biggest, one of the easiest ways to get started with content. Obviously, the easiest way is past client stories, but then once you become a content creator, you start crafting your traffic so that it's exactly the people that you want to talk to. And hopefully, I have accomplished that today. And we will see you next time. Bye.